Hi.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
I learned during our prep that you said your first sales job was 16 years old. You're working in a boiler room.
Yeah.
Trying to get people to refinance their home. This is like some Wolf of Wall Street shit or something. Like, tell me, like, how did you even get into that like role?
Okay, so I was actually walking, and it was middle school. So I was walking in middle school, or I think it was high school. Long story short, I was in a hallway.
I hope you're in high school at 16.
Yeah, middle school, high school. I'm like bad with like ages and what schools. I'll learn that as I get older. As I still have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, so I'm like, I haven't relived that yet. It's been like years ago, but. Long story short, I was in a hallway and a couple of my friends were like, oh my God, do you want to work like on this side? I found this guy and he approached me like at the grocery store. And at the time I was working at like LGA. It's like a local, I was like a cashier. Yeah. And so I was like, sure, it sounds kind of sketchy, but I'll entertain it. So I went into the place. I met the guy. His name was Luis Gonzalez. And I'll never forget the interview. He's like, okay, when do you want to start? And I was like, wow, like you're just that quick. And he was like, I like your energy. You got good energy. So I was like, okay, I guess energy got me the job. And I ended up starting and I was like, how does this work? And he's like, we're going to give you money under the table because you're not technically legal. And I was like, okay. I won't tell my mom because I wanted the cash. Yeah. To go shopping and do stupid things as a young kid. So I ended up getting the cash under the table and he handed me a phone and it had a headset. And I was like, what is my job? He's like, your job is to call people. Here's the list. Handed me a list of like 35 different accounts, which are basically like homeowners. And he's like, you have to call and get these people to refinance. And I didn't even know what the hell that, I was like, what is refinancing? Like, what is that? So he explained that the idea there is to save them money, but you have to pull their credit. You need to get their credit score and their FICO score. We run it, then we see if they're eligible, and then we can see how much we can save them. So here I am, like nervous, frightened, shaking in my seat, picking up this phone call, make my first call. And all of a sudden, I get hung up on. And then the next person.
This is before the mortgage crisis, right? So this is like when everything was like booming. When it came to mortgages and people were refinancing, buying houses, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And it was terrifying because first phone call I'll never forget. I said, hi, this is so-and-so from Triumph Funding. Click, hang up. Like immediately, I didn't even get a chance to like get an intro or like talk about what I was going to offer. Second call, F you, I'm gonna sue I'm gonna sue you. Why are you calling me? How'd you get my number? Like I was like, okay, this person hung up. Next call, and I just kept doing it every day, and like rejection felt really like a slap in the face, like a punch in the face. Like it felt like black and blues everywhere. It was terrible.
Was that your first time doing something like that where you were rejected that much?
Oh my God, it was like people were brutal. I was like, oh my God, people are nasty. This is not fun at all.
Yeah, it's not only people saying no, it's people that are really angry with you.
Yeah.
So were you like even thinking at that time like, oh, I'm in sales? Or was this just like, oh, this is just a job? Like, like why did you decide to stay in sales, I guess, after this experience? Like, what?
It's valid. I mean, I probably would have been like, what the hell? I'm never getting into sales again. But I kind of was like, this is great money. And then I cared about was like the fact that I was taking home money that no 16-year-old home was taking. Yeah. And I was saving it. And I like went to my boss, Louis, and I was like, is this a joke? Do people actually say yes to this? Like I've been getting told no. Yeah. And then on my 7th day, I'll never forget it. I got one social and it was all about humor. I made the mom laugh. I talked about their kids. I talked about her cleaning and doing the dishes and doing homework, and I built rapport. I told her my whole life story about who I was, and I made that connection, and she instantly was like, who are you? You sound like you really want to help me save money. And I was like, I do. I'm like, I'm your guardian angel. We haven't met yet. Like fun ways of like getting people to connect. And so eventually after that 7th day, I had one social, and then it became 6 socials. And every day it was to the point where they actually upgraded my headset. I was connected to like a wired like system where like my desk wouldn't move as fast or as far as I wanted to. Yeah. And I ended up getting a wireless headset because I was so good at my job. Yeah, so they gave me like a Plantronics Bluetooth headset. I was able to like walk around the office, and you'd see me doing laps around the office because I was a big believer. Like my first boss taught me, stand up with pride, you talk better, you're more confident, and pace yourself around the office. So I'd pace around the office. I'd go downstairs like the vending machine. I'd come back up, and I'd find myself having like a lot of fun and getting to know people and making jokes and laughing and talking about how I want to buy a house one day and I'd love to be in your shoes, but like, oh my God, how are you spending that much money? You could be spending $1,000 back into your pocket to go to Cancun, to go to Thailand, like to buy your favorite designer's, Gucci bag or Chanel bag. I would find the funniest things to tell people. and I start with like, oh, like what's on your bucket list? Like what's one item that you'd buy today if you had the money? Like fun ways of like getting people to like put their guard down and be like, this girl wants to get me like all of my dreams. So
it sounds like this role, you built a lot of the foundational skills that you would later use in the rest of your career. Like the energy piece of like, I don't know how people make cold calls sitting down, by the way.
I know.
I've always been a stand up.
Me too.
Like pacing, definitely. Like how to have energy, the tonality. It sounds like you learned a lot about connecting with people too. Yeah. Were you like that in your everyday life?
Oh my God, yeah.
So you've always been pretty like how you are
life,
now.
Like if I saw a stranger, I was like, let me go say hi. I was like nothing. I was not afraid of anything growing up. Yeah. And you're gonna laugh because like when I was younger, my dad was like, oh my God, my daughter is so shy. Like he would see me in like intermediate school or like elementary school, like with all these kids who were hanging out, and then there was me in the corner like afraid because I was this like Arabic girl like with a unibrow who like was awkward. I wore weird clothes that never matched. I wore like bright blue and like brown corduroy. I wore weird stuff, and so I never felt like I ever fit in growing up. So my dad was like, that is not going to be my daughter. So the next day he put me in like every sport possible: soccer, swimming, basketball, volleyball, ice hockey. I was like, what am I doing with all these sports? And he's like, the more that I put you in sports, the more that you learn how to be around people. You can be competitive. You'll learn that, the spirit of like teamwork. You'll understand what it's like to be, out there and like putting yourself like in things where you need to learn and you're not like, you're not comfortable, right? So he put me in very uncomfortable situations. Like I was a girl on the Bobcats, like playing ice hockey, the only girl.
Oh, wow.
Like, so that was like uncomfortable. Like the only girl, I had my own separate changing room. He put me in so many places where like, I felt so like, oh my God, I don't belong here. But he's like, oh, you're going to belong. You're going to freaking belong because that's your job. Like, it's to figure out how do you feel like you will belong, and you will eventually do that.
That's
so
been
throwing me into a pool when I was afraid of the water. He's like throwing me in like, I hope you drown, but you'll figure out how to swim.
God, it sounds horrifying, but you learned a lot from it. That's like really been a theme with you in your career. Like, so fast forward, you work at Spectrum. This is a door-to-door job. So we kind of share that in common, actually. My first sales job was going door-to-door selling house painting services in college. So this was door-to-door. Again, you come from a call center, boiler room. Like, why door-to-door? And it sounds like one of the really big things, again, that you learned at this, like if you could tell us more about the skill you have of just like being able to connect with people really quickly. It is really like the art of selling. It's so hard to teach that. Like I can come in and teach all of these cold calling frameworks, but like having the gift of gab and being able to connect with someone, like I think is a very undervalued skill actually.
Oh my God, huge. Like I say it's always better to be interested in people and things and who they are and what they sell or what's important. Like being interested is so important than being interesting. Yeah. So I've just always been very curious, whether it's like, oh my God, I love your shoes, to a small compliment that then turns into like a conversation where they leave the door open and they don't slam the door in my face. Or like, oh my God, your landscaping is beautiful. Like, wow, like how'd you get your grass so green? Or like, I love your nice blue car that's in the garage. Or, like finding, like, I love the neighborhood. Like, what's your favorite store in the neighborhood? Finding ways to like, not just like, hey, I'm going to sell you, but like, hey, I want to first build a relationship and I want to be your friend first. Like that's important. I think about my first relationship with like my best friend. I'm like, all of my best friends and friends were all strangers. And if you think about that relationship, you're like, wow, how did I become their best friend? Like all of those things were probably hard at first because you had to learn about who they were, what they like, what they don't like, what makes them tick, what are their do's and don'ts, like, and all those exact same like exercises and small little things that you have to do every day in your life. When do you build a personal relationship with your husband or it's your best friend? It's all things that you have to learn, and it's all like relationship building. And like you said, rapport and the gift of gab. So having that is important. If you think about like you were once like your stranger, like your best friend was once a stranger, like so was your customer. It's the same exact thing. What did you do then? Just repeat it, but make it more on a professional level.
So what's interesting for me is I have this in a professional setting. I can do this. Yeah. In a personal setting, it's quite the struggle for me actually. So like making guy friends. Yeah, I just turned 37. It's not easy for me, actually. Oh, it's not?
No. Oh, okay.
So, like, I live in Seattle now, which I told you. We've been there for almost a year and a half, and they have this thing called the Seattle Freeze. So it's literally the opposite culture of, like, here in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, like East Coast. It's, like, super extroverted. Like here, you talk to people at the grocery store. You talk to people you're standing in line next to. Like you talk to your, the person making your bacon, egg, and cheese at the bodega, right? Like that's what you do in the city. In Seattle, it's like no one talks to each other. So it's been quite the challenge, honestly. And my question for you is, like, what's your advice for someone maybe that doesn't quite instinctually connect to someone? Like, how have you helped reps, I guess, with that? Maybe like, how have you transferred that skill, I guess, to other people?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, find one thing that you find is unique that you're curious about, right? Like, if someone's making a bacon, egg, and cheese, what's your favorite sandwich here? What would you pick? What would you order if you were me, right? Like that conversation makes people feel like, oh, they want to, like, she wants to know about me. Like she cares about like my opinion. So I think find an icebreaker. It's like so easy to do. Like find one fun icebreaker. I do this all the time. I'm like the icebreaker queen at work. I'm like, that's what gets people to open up. It's finding ways to make it really fun, and people connect by the answers that are given, or people laugh at it, or they go, that's a weird answer, or that's a fun one, or oh my God, like that's hilarious. You know, like people like love stuff like that. So I've always asked like fun questions of like, just to my team, like, oh, if you were stuck on an island with somebody you hated, you know, or you were stuck alone, what would you pick? Like, what would you do?
Yeah.
Choose to get along with a person you hate who can save your life, or be stranded alone on an island, right? Like find fun ways to like make it really like the humanity piece, the like personality piece. Like I want to know your personality, but I can't know it if you're not going to tell me something funny or fun or unique or different or weird. I'll always ask a question like, tell me something that no one knows about you.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. Like people love to share stuff about themselves.
Yeah, this is great stuff for building relationships with people on your team.
Yeah.
It's great. Like I'm just thinking, especially in sales calls, you should have an icebreaker that's like related to what you sell.
Yeah.
You know, or some sort of opinionated question that gets someone like really talking.
Yeah.
But what I'm taking from you though is that I think there's a lot of this stuff. This is something I'm trying to do more of. So my wife Sarah, she grew up in Queens.
Oh,
so
nice.
she's like a New Yorker. Like she's super extroverted. She can be introverted sometimes too, but like just great at like building community and making friends. And so I've talked to her a lot about this. But what I heard from you is, I think like doing more of this as a habit in your personal life will help translate for someone that maybe struggles with that a little bit in sales.
Yeah. Oh my God, absolutely. Yeah. The more you can start to like get out of your comfort zone, like, so like I remember like one of my friends like, oh my God, I can't ask, I can't go. Like you go. I'm like, no, you go. Like this is gonna train you so that like nothing is afraid. Like you're not afraid of anything. You're not feared of anything. You're not fearful of anything. And you're not. I think that's like back to like when I talked about like in our prep session, like don't say no to things. Say yes to everything. I know that sounds like terrible advice, like say yes to everything, but it's like the more that you do and the more that you like put yourself out there, the more that you try, the more that you want to like learn something new that might be terrifying or isn't like doesn't feel comfortable, the more that the uncomfortable becomes comfortable. So like if it's uncomfortable for you to ask a question, like keep asking more, like once a day, like twice a day. Then eventually like asking a question becomes a part of a way that you start a conversation with not just, you know, a friend, but also a prospect, you know? And I think having that inquisitive nature is really important in sales. I think a lot of people want to lead with me and they want to talk about them and they want to talk about their products and what they're offering. But I think if you put emphasis on getting to know them, not just their role, but like what really keeps them up at night. Not that cliche, like, oh, I'm going to lose sleep because my team's not going to perform. No, like what really keeps you up at night? Like, you know, is it reading through 75-page reports? Is it the fact that you know, have like somebody on your team that like is resisting change? Like, is it that your kids are driving you nuts and you can't focus on like having a balance? How do we create more balance by creating a better calendar and a better schedule for you, right? Like, is it time management? Do you not have enough time in your day? Like, what really keeps you up at night? But like finding those things, not the like stupid cliche answers of like, oh, my team's not going to perform. Like, that's given. Like we know people are going to be afraid of that at night, and that's going to keep them up. And I want to know like what really gets under your skin. Like that's important. And also what makes your eyes what makes your eyes light up? What makes your heart flutter? Right? Like all those things are really important as a seller and as a leader.
It's bringing in like the there's that old saying in sales: people buy based on emotion, but justify with logic. And I think that a lot of especially if you do a lot of sales training or coaching or participate, it's very logic driven. It's very follow this framework. And it's not like, hey, well, what about the human on the other side of the line, like their personality, you know? So let's talk about your time at Google. So you say yes to this, what was at first a contract role, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Within Google. Walk us through what you were doing there. And one of the big lessons you shared with me was around like, hey, none of this take 90 days to ramp up type stuff. Like you got to show
day
up
one,
and like bring the goods
on
day one.
And go ham on day one.
Yeah, so tell us about that.
So time was really limited. I told you I left Apple, went back to Google, and then, I left Apple, went to Google, then went back to Apple.
Yeah.
And so like day one was like go ham, right? Like go ham or go home, go big or go home. And so for me, it was all about like, leading a team and working as obviously like, I had an IC, like growth goal plus like managing the team. And the idea there was to really like focus on GMS, which is Google Marketing Solutions. So it's selling search, display, remarketing, AdWords, DoubleClick, like all of the Google ad products. And so for me, what did I do? I told you when I hate something, I'm like, immerse me in it, like dive deep, like cannonball into like the stuff that you hate, like do that stuff. And so day one, it was like meeting with all the product teams, the engineering teams, the solutions team, the pre-sales team, the post-sales team. Like I want to know like who everybody is from Sundar Pichai all the way down to like her BDRs. Like for me, like all of it's important. It's all connected tissue. It all matters. And the more I know, the more I can annihilate, the more I can understand the market, the more I can understand customers and how to pitch and how to, lead. And I think that that's important. So it's like immerse yourself. And I mean like, talk to the person that you don't think is worth talking to because they have no impact in your role, but you have no idea what you can learn and what you can absorb. So many people in this world have so much to offer and to teach you. I've always said this, like there's going to be no Jason Bay, just like you in this world. There's only one of you in the entire universe and you've got a lot of stuff to share. And I want to know everything that you have to share because that's important to me. Like it's knowledge that can add to my, to my Rolodex of information that I've gathered from my career and over my years. So it's immerse yourself, like your network's always your net worth, getting in front of people, having one-on-ones, meeting with everybody, being everywhere and in every place you possibly can, and signing up. I always said say yes to everything and don't say no, because the more you say yes, the more you learn, and the more you can learn to like take in more projects and learn something that you wouldn't have learned if you said no. Yeah. I think no is it's such a disservice to so many people.
Yeah.
And if you hate it, don't do it again. It's that easy.
So this might be kind of an odd question because this may be pretty intuitive
I'm an open book,
you.
so whatever you got, Jason.
So like from a networking standpoint, like what advice do you have around like thinking about who would be good if I'm a new sales leader, let's say, or a new frontline manager, like how to think about that piece? Is this, I'm just going to proactively reach out to people? How do you do that? How do you decide like who might be, critical? Because you want to make a good first impression. Like you said, there's the results piece. You don't have like all of the time in the world to meet every single person, I would assume. How do you think about that? And what advice would you give to a first-time leader at a new company, let's say, around like the relationships they need to build with people like outside of their department?
Yeah, I think when you're first starting, that's like the key critical moment to like do that when like it's slow. So obviously like onboarding people are usually typically doing in cohorts. Yep. But it's like, what are you doing outside of that? Like people don't need 8 hours a day to do onboarding. Maybe you need 4 or 5 hours, and then the remaining 3 hours of the day, you find the people that you want to meet with, right? You pull up an org chart in Workday, you pull up an org chart in Slack, or you look at, who are the people that are really important? Maybe you start with each like head for each department. Yeah. And then you start with like, okay, who else do you think I should meet? So like like when I joined Criteo, it was like, I met with the analytics team. I met with the tech team, which is the TX team. I met with CS. I met with product marketing and the engineering. The amount of things I knew after like 2 weeks of just joining Criteo, I felt like I could like get on a Ferrari drive to where I wanted to faster and like do it faster than Anthony Hamilton or Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
So like, I think the idea here is like my dad has always said to me that you can have, going back to the Ferrari, you can have a shiny red car that's beautiful and it's expensive and it's fast, but that car will sit in park without 4 tires, an oil change, a time belt, an ignition,
a driver,
gas, right? Like all of these things are what you need in a car. So it's the same concept. Like I can have all this amazing stuff that I can bring to the table, but like I can't do it without a team. I always say LeBron James and Michael Jordan have these amazing people. It's all about your resources. It's all about like what's the village behind you, right? And have you made the time to work with that village and learn about what the village can do to support you, and how do you support them so that they can support you in turn? So it's building like a little army. And I think if you have that, like in any company as a successful leader, like you've already done your part.
Yeah.
You're already like half of the success is done if you've built your village before you even start the job.
Yeah, it breaks down a lot of the silos that people talk about. And then also, because I see with a lot of the clients that we work with, it's so adversarial across departments.
Oh, it's a great word.
Right,
yeah,
where it's like product really hates the sales team and marketing team because they have so many suggestions.
Yeah, they're like,
it's like,
you're stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane.
Yeah, and then there's like sales and marketing, of course. So I love the word village. It's like building the village. Like these are people that can advocate on your behalf. And in social, there was this term coined called dark social. Do you know what that is?
No, I've heard of it though.
So dark social is basically this idea, I don't know why they call it dark social, but it's basically this idea that people will talk about the stuff you post on social, like outside of the platform.
But they won't talk about what's like not posted or what's not happening in real life.
Kind of. It's the idea that like if I post something and it really resonates with you, and you share it with your team in a Slack channel, I don't see that happening. So I don't know that it's happening. So there's all of this great stuff happening that you have no idea that's happening.
Yeah, unless someone comes and tells you, which you probably like, they won't follow up with you unless you ask them like, hey, how did that resonate? Or did you share it? Or was it successful?
Exactly.
Or was the impact there?
Yeah, and it's this idea that your reputation gets there before you do. So like internally building this village, you're essentially doing the same thing. It's like, I need to build these relationships because there's a lot of rooms that you're not going to be in where your name is going to get brought up. And like, if the person has a relationship with you, them advocating to your CRO or your CEO or whoever, all of that stuff like really, really fucking matters.
It does. Oh my God, it so does. And the fact that like, you think about like anything that's happened in this world, World War II, World War I. Did you fight alone? No, there was a whole army behind you. Like, you know, when you think about like courtside, like it's not just LeBron James playing by himself. Like there's a whole team of, you know, like people that are by his side, and everyone plays their role and everyone has a position, and every position like matters. Like the quarterback matters to the whatever other positions are in football. Like it all, I'm not a sports person, but it all matters. Like all of it matters.
We talk about LeBron James a lot for not being a sports person.
I know, yeah. As my husband's a huge fan of basketball, so he loves LeBron James. But like it's sales and leadership is a team sport. Yep. You can't lead alone. You can't sell alone. You can't do both alone, period. Yeah. And you can't do it without having fun. You have to have a lot of fun at the end of the day. You have to make people laugh and make yourself laugh. That's the most important thing. Like get in a mirror and like make fun of your pitch. Like pitch yourself every day in the mirror. Like pitch yourself as like you're pretend calling somebody on your cell phone. Like laugh about it. Like, you know, have the little, what is it? Like blippers or bloopers. Have little bloopers in the mirror. Like do all those things. All that thing that makes you really, I think it's human, and it builds character, and it builds main character energy. I'm all about like main character energy, like show up, be who you are at the end of the day, have fun, be resourceful, be the person that likes to also find resources. And you have to just like, you have to figure it out. That's it. It's all or nothing. It's go or no. Like for me, it's always been go, go, go. Yes, yes, yes. Sure, sure, sure. We're going to do it together. Yeah. If I had a billboard, I always ask this in interviews, you're going to laugh. I always ask, like, if you had a billboard and like someone had like a quote, right? Like, and it was a Jason Bay quote. What would you want that quote to read in all of billboards, radio stations, like all around the U.S.? What would your quote be?
It's a great question. I think it's a great question to ask.
Like, imagine it being plastered everywhere, like Seattle, New Jersey, New York, subway stations, like major highways, Texas, Florida, California. You got one message to send to the world. What would that message be? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I really like this. My dad shared this with me. I don't think it's his original idea because I've heard this in other places, but people are never as good or as bad as they seem.
That's a good one.
And I think that like just really things in life in general are never as good or bad as they seem.
It's true.
So
I love that.
I think it's this idea of assuming positive intent for the most part. And that the grass isn't always greener and all of that kind of stuff. So
I love that.
I think that is probably the idea that I would like to inject into the to put out into the world. Yeah.
I love that. It's so true. The grass is never greener. And everyone has a thing that they're going through that you know not. Like Robin Williams said it best. Like everyone's fighting a battle that you know nothing 100%. About. Yep. So give people the benefit of the doubt. I love that. So I asked you because it reminds me of like what if you can ask that for one person on your team, right? Like you know what they're all about, right? You kind of have an idea of instantly, like what matters to them, what's the impact that they want the world to see. So for me, I would have two messages. Career-wise, I would say be an animal. So just be an animal, whatever animal it is. What's your spirit animal? Be it. Like if it's mine's a lion because I'm a Leo. Like lions, like okay, that's my methodology is like my MO as a sales leader is like be an animal, whether that's a dove or a cheetah or an elephant. Like just be an animal, right? Yeah. And then the second one that I really love is I got you. Doesn't matter what it is. It's important to do that. Like at the end of the day, no one's more superior. You know, I talked about my beautiful relationships that I've had at Criteo and everyone's amazing. And like, I could talk to the CEO and it felt like he was like someone I knew for years. You like, to be able to feel like the people around you have no ego, have no reservations, have no agenda, and just want to help you and just want you to be successful. That to me is everything. So I have this energy that I protrude everywhere I go because it's like, I care. I give a shit. I give too much of a fuck. Like you are important. Like, you know, like, and you have to believe in you. Like, and if you can't believe in you, I will believe in you because that's what it takes. It takes one person to believe in one person to make a difference and to make a change in sales. Yeah. And that's why I love being a leader.
I love that. The belief piece I think is so important as a leader to share that with the people that you lead. Because it makes a world of difference. There was, this is right around the time I was, right before I started working where we met at Gong, when I was working with Gong. Yeah. So this is like 2022, I think. Yeah. Before that, I was really nervous when I got that deal.
Oh my God, you were amazing. We loved you. John Johnson was like obsessed with you.
Yeah, JJ, like I'd known him for like maybe a year.
I was like flabbergasted that you were on because you were so like incredible and the amount of talent and how helpful and how experienced you were. Like I thought that you were one of the most epic people. I was just telling people, really? I was just telling people this morning, like, you know, like my small circle of friends, I'm like, I'm meeting the Tony Robbins of sales. Like that's like, I'm like, I'm having a pinch me moment. Somebody pinch me right now. And that's like, that's how much you have a great following. You have a lot of people who really value you. So for you to be nervous is crazy, but it's also because you're human and you care. Oh yeah. So I think when you're nervous, that's a good thing. Like I would be afraid if you weren't nervous, right? Like totally. I want my team to be nervous when they pick up the call. Like that means that you want to win. That means that you want to hit your number. It means you want to sell.
100%. I was nervous, but I also had quite a bit of imposter syndrome.
Oh, lots of people have that, yeah.
You know, it's like Gong's, like if there's any company out there that needs to sell really well and have their process nailed down, it's a company that sells software that helps you do that, right? Yeah. So like I already knew that about Gong, and then JJ brought me in, and like I had known him for a little while, and we'd been talking like for a year or more prior to that. And my point around belief is that one of my mentors, you know, he's a guy that's wrote multiple sales books, Anthony Iannarino.
Oh my God, I've heard of him. Yeah, he's great. So, oh my God.
I was introduced to him through a mutual friend, Jeff Bajorek, and for some reason when he said like, hey, like, dude, you're doing great stuff, man. Like, I follow your content. And I was
That's huge, shit. JJ is picky.
Yeah, you know? And like, hearing that from Anthony especially was something just clicked for me, where I was like, okay, cool, I got this. And that's all I needed to hear was from someone that I looked up to. I just needed to hear that they thought that my stuff was good. You know? And I think that's just really important as a leader to share that, because like your opinion really makes a huge impact on the people that you lead. So I wanted to ask you, like, in terms of building relationships with people that you lead and manage, like, do you have a system around that? Again, I think a lot of this like probably is pretty intuitive for you, but do you have a system for like really connecting with people, or advice, or things that you like to do, or a place that you like to keep special information, like their kids' names and what's important to them? Like how do you approach like building those personal relationships with your team?
Because it's so hard to like figure out like within, like I will never forget my experience at Yelp. New team, new leader, the blind leading the blind. Same thing with Criteo, like new team, new leader, the blind leading the blind, again, like part 2, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it is just like, I told you I'm an icebreaker queen. I think asking questions that like, people can naturally participate where it's not uncomfortable. It makes it fun. Mm-hmm. It's lighthearted. It's not like heavy. It's easy to like answer a simple question of like 2 truths and a lie. Like my 2 truths was like, my 2 truths and a lie was like, an owl pooped on my head in Japan. Like no one, like that's a fun fact. Like people laughed at it, and it's true because I went to Japan in an owl cafe. So just like finding ways to like connect with somebody, like whether they've, were born in Switzerland and grew up on the Alps, or somebody speaks 7 languages. Like I think that is where people open up and they want to share about themselves. It's just they don't know how to share. So people aren't going to voluntarily be like, oh, by the way, like I've been to Japan. Oh, by the way, I went to an owl cafe. It was pretty cool. Like I'm not going to voluntarily tell people that. But if someone asks me like, what's the coolest trip you've been on? I'll probably tell them it was Japan. So I think it has to start with asking questions about who they are, and it's like getting to know them on a way where like you're making it kind of like a fun game.
Is this like what you do like in a first meeting with a new rep, let's say? Like or is it just over time?
Yeah.
Like is there any kind of...
Yeah, it's such a great question, Jason. So I do this like whole like in our first meeting as a team, we're going to talk about like all the about me. It's like I want you all to fill out like 3 or 4 slides. Put pictures of your fiance, your girlfriend, your dog, your cat, like bring fun topics of like if you could travel to any country, where would it be? If you had $1 million tomorrow, how would you spend it? So it's like I come up with like these like fun questions, and then like they do a whole like, it's like what is it called? Like show and tell or share. I even did it like one of our like second or third meetings at Criteo was like everybody's gonna like, and I prepped the team so it wasn't like everyone was on the spot. Find something in your room that you're proud of, whether it's a trophy, whether it's an item that you were gifted or something that you bought that meant something to you, like share what it is, right? So we have people around, like going around the room and like showing items, like whether it was like a plaque from Apple, like I shared my plaque from Apple, which is, I'm mad it's signed by Tim Cook because I started in 2011 and I wish it was signed by Steve Jobs, but I just missed the mark.
Oh, damn.
But
sorry, Tim.
Sorry, Tim, if you're hearing this. But yeah, like ideas, like you bring things like, and people would show and tell, like a picture of like like their favorite picture from a vacation. So it like got people to like, oh, this is cool. Like this is about me, and it
humanized everyone instantly on the team.
Instantly, and it creates trust. It creates really good, like again, that like interested piece and not being interesting. I know it's so cliche to say, but like I always lead with like EQ over IQ. Naturally, everybody has IQ. Like everybody that we know like has developed some sort of education, like knows things. No one's really like that, unintelligent. So it's how do I go beyond the intelligence piece? Like I know
there
you're
are a few people, maybe not in
very tiny,
much, but
it's true. But like the ones that we're interacting with on a day-to-day basis, like that's there. That's like bad. Like that's like table stakes, right? So
totally,
it's figuring out like how do I build rapport by getting to know somebody. I want to know like the things that they're afraid to talk about. Not that I'll ask it, right? But like eventually, like I had somebody on my team who opened up about like a divorce, or that they're something happened with their kid, or they're a caretaker for their grandmother, or they're going through a bad breakup, like whatever it is. Like it's so important to get into that, like that element of getting them to put their guard down. Yeah. Because once you can do that, like people are already motivated, right? They're already wanting to do good. Yeah. They want to just know that you care and that you're going to help them with college tuition, their divorce, their breakup, their kids, their grandmother's sick. Like they care about that, right? So it's how do I feed and fuel you with the amount of, knowledge and education and resources and support and the feel good vibe at work, so that you can be in your best state of mind, mentally, physically, emotionally, to do your job and to go ham on the phone.
Yeah, to go ham on the phone.
And to pick up with like resilience, like, my boss is cool. Like everything's great. I got this. Like that feels good, like when you have everything working in your favor, everything feels good. Yeah. It's all important with like all aspects to be able to like, it makes you more confident. It makes you want to tackle your challenges. It makes you not afraid of anything when you have a really good backbone. So I like to be that backbone for my team, and it's really important.
I love that. We're skipping around in your career just a little bit. So we've talked about building personal relationships. It's been something that's been really critical for you in your current role. I want to jump back to your time at Apple real quick. Yeah. There was this idea that you learned called fearless feedback. Yes. So let's talk about this, because I'm much better at it now. Like one of our company values at Outbound Squad is candor.
Oh, I love that. Candor's
so it's
huge.
like we are an open book. It's two-way. People can give feedback to me. I can give feedback to other people. And it's just like, it's expected.
Yeah.
It's expected that if I'm with Clara or Amanda, who are two of our trainers, that if I'm on a call shadowing with a client, they're going to get feedback from me after that call.
Yeah, it's important too.
And it's expected that in our one-on-ones, if something needs to improve because I am doing something wrong or could be doing it better, that like it's expected that they bring that feedback in and share it.
And you want feedback. Otherwise, you don't know what you're doing. If you're doing a good job, did it resonate? Was the impact there? Yeah.
100%. So tell us about the fearless feedback, like that quadrant that you talked about, and just like kind of like the mental side of giving feedback also, because
it's hard.
A lot of it can be hard to deliver really candid feedback, and it also can be hard to receive really candid feedback too.
Yeah.
So
I love that you mentioned this because like Rocky Garza is like another great trainer, but he also at the end of every session he asks, let's talk about how did that make you all feel? And I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, wow, that's like a really awesome question for a sales trainer to ask.
Yeah.
So back to your thought of like, how do you give feedback? How do you receive feedback? Because sometimes it's hard, especially when it's like, sometimes it's like very critical and it's very detailed, right? Like if someone's on a PIP or, if someone's not performing or they don't have the right amount of, like business acumen or they don't have, good integrity. Like there's a lot of reasons why you can be giving really harsh feedback. First and foremost, I think it's really important to have the individual that you're giving the feedback to, like kind of like assess, how do you think things are going, right? Like, what do you think is working? What do you think is not working, right? Like, what do you like and what do you don't like? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Sometimes when we do this exercise called like 9 boxing, right? Like we don't just tell people their score. This is where you score. This is why you're scoring the way that you're scoring. It's, hey, where do you think you are, right, as a performer? Yeah. If you had to put yourself on like a scale of like A plus to D, we're just going to go back to like grade school, like A plus to D, where would you put yourself on a scale? I think when people do that, it allows you to understand where is their self-awareness piece.
Yeah.
Are they aware of it? Maybe they're not aware of it, right? And then how do you now lead a conversation with, okay, I've heard all of the things that you want to say. I've heard why you think that you're an A player versus a C player. Yeah. Now you can go back to, okay, here's what an A player is, and then kind of bringing them back to the C player, which is where they like undergraded or overgraded themselves.
Yeah.
For me, fearless feedback at Apple was something I was kind of like, it was very new to me. I was like, fearless feedback, what is that?
Yeah.
So they're like, you have to give feedback, but it can't be, there's 4 quadrants. So we talked about positive specific, negative general, and positive general. And a lot of people that give feedback is, oh, I like the way you look today.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, good
you
job.
Did great
job. That was a really good call. What?
Yeah.
But the specific negative and specific positive is really important.
Yeah.
Because people don't know what made them good, right? Was it the way that I built rapport? Was it that I set the agenda? Was it that I asked questions? Was it that I handled the objection well? Did I, ask for multiple stakeholders to be involved? Like, what did I do that was good? Yeah. So when they learn from that, they learn what they need to do next so that they're not continuously repeating a repetitive cycle of just poor behavior or going back to doing general behavior and expecting general positive or general like negative results.
Yeah.
So it's always like asking for permission. That's really important. Apple's always drilled into our mind of when you need to give feedback to somebody, you need to ask if they're in the right state to receive the feedback. So you can start the sentence by saying, hey, Jason, I've got some specific negative feedback that I wanted to, give to you today. Yeah, I know it's hard. But the way it's how you say it, right? It's not like, oh, I've got some feedback for you today. Like it's going to be some negative specific feedback, right? It's more like, hey, Jason, I wanted to grab a couple minutes with you. Wanted to see if you're free. I have some like very specific negative feedback that I wanted to, portray. Are you in the right headspace to receive this feedback?
Yeah.
And that piece just right there feels like, wow, like it might be, oh my God, negative. Oh my God, what the hell did I do? But it's you're asking the person like, can I enter the space where you're going to feel uncomfortable? And if they say yes, then they're kind of already expecting what's going to happen.
They're opted in.
Like, have you ever had a friend tell you, oh, I've got good news or bad news. Which one do you want first? It's kind of the same concept of like, oh, which one do you want first, right? Like, instead of saying, do you want good news or bad news? Would you like me to tell you the specific negative feedback or the specific positive feedback? Which one do you want to hear first? And are you ready to hear the feedback? Some people aren't ready for it, and sometimes they are.
Yeah.
So I think asking for permission is critical. I think if you can explain it and rip apart. What I really mean by like rip apart is rip apart the emotional piece. Not it made you feel like crap or you hated it or you couldn't believe it or the audacity. Oh my God, I can't, like, oh, that was a terrible interaction. Like this guy's never going to buy. Like, no, don't make it detrimental. Make it specific and negative where it's calm and you're removing the emotional piece.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you do it with pace, you do it with intention, and you do it with like, here's what I recognize, here's what I observed, here's what I saw. I wanted to get your feedback about that. That's really important. Yeah. Not just giving the feedback and then, oh shoot, they're left with it. What do you think about what I just said?
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, I think so. What I love about this is like the opt-in, I think is critical. I love that you're checking to see if they're in the right headspace. Yeah. Because if someone just experienced like a really bad sales call and
like maybe they found out they had cancer like an hour ago. Like who knows? Like
it's like just make sure the
you don't know if like their
mom's
in the ICU. You don't know like
100%.
if like their brother got into it. Like you have no idea. Like people hide things very well, so you don't know if they're like having like they maybe like I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but like I've like gotten into a fight with my husband. I'm like 10 minutes before like a Zoom call. I'm like, I gotta get it together, guys. I gotta get it together. So like you don't know if that person just had an argument with their husband or their wife or they're in it bad. Like people like switch on and off fast enough to like not be able to be detected. So that important piece of like asking for feedback is just so critical. Like there's so much shit that goes on in a day.
And then I love the removing my judgment from the feedback, because that's the word I would use. When you say things like, that was a really bad call, you're not really helping the other person versus like, hey, I think when you did, hey, I think when the customer shared that they thought it was too expensive, I don't know if they walked away from that conversation feeling like the value was there. Let's talk about what you did.
Yeah, that's great. You know? So like they don't feel attacked. They kind of feel like, oh, there's room for improvement. Not, oh, you messed up so much that like I can't believe you did it like that, and it was like like a fireable. You don't want people to feel like it's a fireable offense. It's how do you investigate and uncover what they could have done differently and letting them do it. It's kind of like, you know, like you're married, I'm married. Like when I want to like run an idea by my husband, I make sure it's his idea, even though it's mine. So it's like, how do I like make him feel like it's his idea, right? It's the same thing.
You would think that I would do that just because I teach sales, but I'm really bad at this. My wife is Sarah's very good at this.
Yeah.
I'm just like all the sales techniques, like I think women are better at this in general. But the feedback piece, I think, is just so big because one, if you don't have the relationship where people can receive feedback and where you can receive feedback, there's all of this like stuff that goes unsaid that is really the difference maker in like performance at the end of the day.
100%. My God, let's make it or break it.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it is so refreshing when you can just be an open book with someone.
It is.
And vice versa. Like it's just, there isn't all of this, like I have to put my corporate mask on, which I don't have the experience that you do of working for large companies like a Google or an Amazon or anything like that. But I would imagine that people tend to be pretty guarded in those environments and fairly corporate.
And that's why I kind of like, I loved working at Google and Apple and Amazon, but it felt like there was a lot of red tape, and I'm kind of like rip the Band-Aid off. Like, get rid of this red tape. Like, you can come to me if you just cried in the bathroom for like a half an hour. I want to know about it. Like, you know, if you just had like a crazy conversation and like you're carrying it with you at work. I don't need to know the details of the comment, but I want to know like, are you in the right state? If not, we're gonna take a time out and we're gonna go get a coffee. Like, so it's things like that are really important. And I think a lot of leaders do a really good job of it. But I think I love people so much, and I know it sounds so like sobby and like cliche or too soft, but like I love people so much that I don't need to know who you are. I just love you because you're human. Yeah, and that's what matters. It's like you have the same. Like motivation is motivation, right? Like it doesn't, it's no different. It might look different because somebody might be motivated for different reasons, but motivation and motivation are the same, right? Like, so if I want to be motivated to be a tennis championship, like a tennis pro championship, like, and I want to be motivated to be a seller, like motivation is still the same. Like it feels the same. Yeah. So it's like, if humans want that, like, that's great. Like I want to help them get there.
Yeah. Love that. Let's talk about your time at Amazon. They're sort of famous for this disagree and commit, like company value. Yeah. How did you learn that, and how have you like internalize that and apply that as a sales leader.
Yeah. So people will ask me in an interview till this day, it's been the thing I've always like gravitated towards is what's like the thing that you liked about Amazon? And it was the leadership principle of having a backbone, disagreeing and committing. And I was like, that's powerful, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody disagrees and nobody just commits. People just, change. People don't like change. They don't want to change. Okay, I'm not going to change. Like, oh, I don't really believe in this idea. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to implement it. You guys can do it, right? Like, so I think the idea of like what Amazon taught me is like, even if it's a really bad idea, even if it's the worst idea, right? And it's horrible and everything falls apart and it collapses and it's, detrimental, like just do the idea. We'll all agree on it. And what will we come out of it? We'll come out of it learning something new.
Yeah.
But what you won't get out of it is if you didn't do it, you would have never learned something new, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the idea of like, you can't say you hate something if you didn't try it. You can try it and then say you hate something, right? So it's the idea of it's better to try than to not try. And even if it's something that's a bad idea, you learn from it. And then now you can go back to plan B if plan A fails. So the idea of like having a backbone, disagreeing and committing is, okay, I don't really agree with it, but we're going to do it. We're going to commit to doing it. We're going to make it work. And if it doesn't work, we'll go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. Is like you always reinvent, stuff in sales. You reinvent yourself. You reinvent your career. Everything gets reinvented in life. Nothing ever stays absolute or infinite or the same. So the idea there is like whatever you think you're going to do right now, it's not permanent. It's never going to be permanent. It's just temporary. And I always say it's a blip of time. So F it. Agree to it and try it. What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
If you lose something, you could always regain it back. It's not like it's gone. Nothing is gone forever.
Yeah, I think that's also an Amazon principle. There's something around Jeff Bezos has talked about how reversible a decision is.
Yeah.
So if it's like, is this like I ordered the wrong thing at lunch? Is it I got the wrong haircut and it's going to take a long time to grow back? Or is this like I caused a permanent injury to myself doing this that cannot be reversed? And most decisions are reversible, especially in sales. It's short like loop that most things are pretty reversible. So I like this idea of disagree, like let it be known that like, hey, I'm like not like in agreement with this, but I'm willing to commit to it because that's the consensus. That's what my org is asking me to do. That shows that you want to at least work towards something that you're like, again, you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You're challenging yourself. You're doing what you don't want to do. Like, that's the thing is people say like, I don't want to get up and go to the gym, but like getting up and going to the gym is training your body and your medulla oblongata to like get up and do the things that you don't want to do so that they become easy. Then when you do them, it's like, snap out of bed. I'm going to go to the gym. Like it's going to be easy. But it's funny that you mentioned that because I love that you talked about like, what's a big deal versus what's not a big deal. And I'm writing a book and so
one of the titles I was like going back and forth with is, and it's not the title I've landed on, but it's Nobody Will Remember at the end of the day. So no matter what you do in sales or in your life, it's not that serious and nobody will remember. Unless it's like, we're talking about like the top 2% of crimes, like people will remember. But we're talking about like everyday things like...
Yeah, we're not talking about murdering people.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're just talking about like everyday things like that happen, like in your day-to-day, like in, like in the 18 hours that you're like, awake for. Like there's nothing that you can do that's that detrimental that people are going to remember. Like that time is over. Like, I don't know what time it is right now, but if you pull up your iPad, Jason, what time is it? 11:38. So it's 11:38. And what day is it today? It's March 17th.
Yep.
So St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 11:38, right? AM or PM. Yeah, no, AM. By 11:31, that minute is gone. 11:30 is gone. I will never see that second. It's buried. It's dead. It's done. So every second of every day matters. And I promise you at 11:30, if I said something crazy right now on this podcast, you would probably not remember it in like 10 years.
It depends on how crazy it was. As long as it's not crazy enough to get us canceled or anything like that,
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. The concept is like the second's gone, like it's going to be over. And then like it might feel like it's everything and it's a big deal. And at the end of the day, it's just really not. And there's this amazing guy I follow on Instagram. And he was saying like, if you were on a flight and somebody, had asked you like, oh my God, I don't have my water in my blanket, and oh my God. And the stewardess responded to you, it's okay, we'll just get you a blanket. Like give us 10 minutes or like, it's not that big of a deal. The person's going to make it a big deal.
Yeah.
But if you go to the person who didn't have their water in the blanket and you go, oh my God, you don't have a blanket and you don't have a water. I can't believe it. I can't like, when you make it a big deal, it suddenly diminishes, right? The problem that the person had. So it's kind of like reverse psychology of like, if you make it a big deal, the person thinks it's not a big deal anymore.
Yeah, I think it's like feeling seen.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
so it's like
seen.
if you're a leader, it could be a rep complaining about what feels like the most trivial of things, but just making sure that like, hey, I see you, I hear you, kind of thing. One last thing to close the loop on feedback, I think that's super important is when you as a leader do get feedback and it's good constructive feedback and you implement that feedback, you should let the person know that gave you the feedback.
Absolutely.
Or let the team know. Like one really good way to invite feedback is to let the entire group know that, hey, just want you to know so-and-so left me feedback on this and here's what we're going to be implementing
I love that, Jason. Yeah, it's huge. I tell my team all the time, like, one of the things I've been known for is slow down. Like, slow down. And I'll literally candidly be open, like, hey team, one of the things I'm working on is slowing down. So if I'm ever saying something that's fast or that has gone over your head or you needed a little bit more time processing it or you didn't understand something, like come back to me, right? Like I am working as a leader on slowing down.
Yeah.
So if I don't slow down for you, you have to tell me. Yeah. And those are the things that I do is like, it's kind of nice being like open and vulnerable so people know like you're human too. We're all working 100%. On something and I'm there with you. You think you got feedback the other day, so did I. We're working on this together.
Yep.
Let's figure it out together.
Yep. Love that. I want to transition a bit into like one just core central theme in your career has been your ability to make these really memorable impressions. So we talked a little bit about some of the creative ideas that you have used throughout your career and that some of your reps have used to just get the attention of clients. And we can't not talk about how to land a meeting or get someone's attention on this podcast. We can't not talk about that, So like, tell us some of the stuff. There's some like interesting things that Apple, I think you did with like a burner phone or something like that. Like, tell me a little bit more about that and some of the other things that you've done.
So there's a lot that I've done in my career. And I think you have to try it all. Like nothing's off the table. Like just see what sticks, right? And so at Apple, we sent a client a burner phone and put a sticky note on it. This was like ages ago. And we put, I'm Miram, this is my phone number. If you don't call me, the phone's going to ring anyways. So make sure you answer at 11. Prospect answered. It was really bold. Like, whoa, like what? Who sends me a burner phone? I've done things like, at Shop Talk. It's a great conference that I am going to be actually fortunate enough to go again on the 24th. One of the VPs at Pepsi came and had a meeting with a different team. And I was like, okay, but I kind of want to get like a seat at the table too. So how do I do that? Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a coffee. And then I'm going to tie the coffee back to the brand. So I ended up getting him a cappuccino. And then the next day I said, it's Mimi with, it's Miram with Criteo. Nickname is Mimi, but it's Miram with Criteo. And I hope my cappuccino tasted as good as Pepsi. I'd love to get 10 minutes of your time. He introduced me to his entire team. And next thing you know, we had a meeting and they were going to close in Q1. So stuff like that makes it fun. For e.l.f. Beauty, it's a cosmetic brand. Everybody wants to see the raw version of who you are, right? So I bought foundation at e.l.f. and then I showed the prospect literally a side by side before and after. Here's me with the makeup on as a mom. Here's me with makeup on. Here's how your product has transformed my life every day. Curious to know why I love e.l.f. so much? Want to jump on a call. Same thing with like Eggland's Best. Eggland's Best is, for anyone who doesn't know, it's an egg brand that's sold at grocery stores at like ShopRite and Kroger's and different, and Publix. And so I told the CEO, I'm like, I'm the chief egg officer of my house. Do you want to know how I buy my eggs and why I choose your brand? Fun things like that, and finding a way to like tie it back to their brand, but also tying it back to you as a person is really fun. Yeah. So, and keeping it spicy. So my favorite quote is keeping it spicy in sales.
Yeah. So you humanize yourself quite a bit with this. And it's like the personality really comes through. And, seeing a picture like the before and after with the makeup, for example, is like, think about like how non-visual a cold email is. And cold call and a voicemail or a LinkedIn. There's nothing really visual or very human about any of those things that has your personality.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like a picture of you. So I think there's this like ability to humanize yourself that seems to stand out. Then the other thing too is when you've had the opportunity, it sounds like a big part of it is experiencing the brand. Like if you sell to companies that sell a consumer-facing product, especially, like you should go purchase that product or interact with that product or go into a store or do something.
I learned so much. Like I crazy. Like I use the Honest like brand diapers all the time.
Yeah.
But no one talks about how much the diaper like holds in, urine, 8 hours of urine all day long. Like how long, how it saved me from cleaning up, from poop in aisle 7, right? Like, so talking about those things are fun, and it makes the brain go, oh, that was hilarious, or that was really funny, or, I'm like, I'll be like, I'm the diaper, what is it? I'm the diaper like diplomat in the house. Like, do you want to know about why I love the Honest brand so much? It's finding ways to just like make it fun.
Yeah. Have you done anything else with like direct mail type of stuff or in-person type of stuff? Like any other things come to mind? Because I feel like the reason I'm asking this is that right now with AI, I feel like there's such a huge focus on like how to use AI to write better emails, how to use this tool to get a hold of someone on the phone. And it's like, these are already extremely crowded channels. Like the CEO at Honest or Eggland or Elf Beauty or wherever, it's like this person's getting literally hundreds of calls and emails from salespeople on a weekly basis.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably not getting a lot of stuff in the mail. They're probably not getting someone sending a picture of them.
And they're not getting
the
videos, and they're not getting a burner phone, right? They're not getting like a cappuccino tied to a Pepsi. So I love that. Something I think that's really important, like you mentioned, the visual piece is find a way to create like not just I'm a human behind an email, like the message is like I'm human, right? So with cold calling, like it's so simple. Like when you cold call somebody, and you know this better than I do because you're like a master and a pro at this. Is I'll call like Giuliano Secantini. I think Giulio Secantini is how you say his name. He's the guy that wears. I don't know if you see him. He wears like a yellow suit, like aviators, and he's like always like playing Jenga when he's doing cold calls.
Oh yeah, I have on Instagram.
He's amazing. So like I learned from him, like as soon as you like make a call, right? Like, it's Miram, right, with Criteo, right? Let's just say making a cold call, it's Miram with Criteo. Sure, you want to throw your phone out the window, right? Because it's a cold call, but you have 30 seconds to tell you why I called. Like fun things like that, like, did I totally desecrate your day, right? Because I'm calling you. Do you want to hear why I called? Yeah. So fun things like that. I know it's a Friday morning. You probably have better plans than to talk to some, Joe Schmo, but do you want to hear why I'm calling, right? Like, but back to your piece about like the visual aspect is, there's a lot of people that want time and are, hammering the phones and hammering emails. But I also like when it comes to in person, like dropping off like something really special, like with someone's name on it, donuts, and maybe they write their name in the syrup, right? Or I find out it's their birthday because I'm big on birthdays. Like sometimes it tells you on LinkedIn, dropping off a small little cake saying happy birthday, and then like putting in your phone number, or like it's so-and-so from the company. So like just finding ways to like really remember things about people that go, wow, that was really special. That was really different. Stupid, silly example. But I ordered from DoorDash, and I told the lady, I was like, oh my God, like I really don't feel, I had the flu all of last week. And she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She goes, I'm going to throw in this, like, it's called like a medicine ball. I ordered from Starbucks. She's like, oh, I'm going to throw in a medicine ball for you. I hope you feel better. I was like, that's really, I'm going to always remember that person. Because they threw in a medicine ball when I didn't even order that.
Yeah. It's little stuff like that, like really thinking about how you can make a lasting impression, with someone. Like, how could you make the person be like, I wish they were on our sales team? Yeah. Oh my God. 100%. All right. It's time for some rapid fire
questions.
Let's
do it.
Ready? What's your hot take on AI in sales?
Oh my God. One thing I didn't even tell you. This was actually probably the craziest thing I think I've ever done in sales as a sales leader. I made an AI version of my prospect. So like,
shit.
Yeah. So I was prospecting into an account, and one of my sellers needed help. I created an AI version using HeyGen of the person, took a picture of their face and uploaded it to the app, and then built like a whole AI. Damn. And it was basically like that, like them speaking to themselves, because it was hilarious. And it was like, you need to get time with Miram because she's been asking you, and here's a video just in case you needed some validation of how extra creative I could be. And so that meeting, that video of me creating AI on I created an AI for like Jason Bay targeting Jason Bay, it worked.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was really cool. I did that one time. So your take on AI, it's really important. If you're not doing things that are creating an automated process, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. I think it's really important to just leverage all of AI and be open to it. There's a lot out there. Yep. But dabble it, dip your toe in everything that you possibly can, because every tool is so different, from Synthesia to HeyGen to Anthropic to ChatGPT. to, even things like Crystal knows, not really AI, but it's more personality assessments and putting people in a room. But yeah, I think just try it all. And eventually you'll find one that you like. Jasper.ai is a good one. You could take one pagers and decks and information on like public releases or, PR for like PR articles, ingest it. And then it kind of spits out like brand messaging based on your needs and what was talked about in that press release, plus what I'm trying to sell you. And it makes it super like not, non-generic, which is great.
Love it.
I love AI.
How do you prevent and or deal with stress?
Oh my God. That's an amazing question. I naturally don't stress because I go back to like, nobody will remember. Like that title to me just like always resonates. Like, okay, what you're doing right now, like could feel like the end of the world, but I promise you, they're not going to remember. You're not going to remember. You're going to get over it. Life's going to move on. You're going to live on to your next moment. And then it'll all just be a little, whatever, blip of time.
Yeah.
Damn, to deal with stress, that's hard. It's funny because I have a therapist and she's like, what's your coping mechanism for stress? I'm like, taking a shower, I guess. Like, that's like, like sometimes when I like take a shower, I can like you can think about, you think a lot when you're in the shower. You think a lot when you're driving. I know it's a weird one, but like I don't have one. I think when it comes to a coping mechanism, it's whatever works for you. Some people need to go for a run. Some people need to work out. Some people need to listen to music. For me, I watch a movie, something funny that makes me laugh or something that like takes my mind off of what's stressing me out. Yeah. But I think humor is the best medicine. So whether it's, music that makes me jam out and jive or gets me into a different state of mind, or if it's like, going to the gym. I'm a big avid, like I like to work out. So working out would be like really great to do, but doesn't always work because sometimes you're just thinking about what happened that's making you stress while you're working out. So it
depends on how tough the workout is or how new the workout is.
Yeah, exactly. Or like sleeping. I think honestly, the best way to release stress that people just is underrated, talk about it. Cry about it. Cry about it, cry about it, cry about it. Talk about it till you're like done with it.
Yeah.
But when you're done, you're done. Like set a timer. Like I talk about this in my book. Set a timer. Okay, I'm going to give this 20 minutes of my energy. Set a 20-minute timer. Hey, Alexa, hey, Google, 20-minute timer. Yeah. And then rant and go ape shit if you need to. And then when you're done, 20 minutes is over, so you're not stressed anymore.
Yeah, love that. Last question. Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give to yourself when you were first getting into sales or sales leadership?
Oh, this is a good one. Don't ever give up. And I really mean that. Like, it doesn't matter if you think it's never going to happen, if it's impossible. There's no way in hell cows could fly. Nope. Don't give up. Just don't. Like, keep going. No matter how many doors slam, no matter how many people tell you no, no matter how many times you're told you can't do it or it's impossible. Like, look at the possible. Like, whoever thought that a stranger would pick you up and it'd be called Uber? Whoever thought that you could stay international in someone's house, in a stranger's home, and call it Airbnb? That to me all sounds scary. Like, whoever thought that a random stranger could just deliver your food, right? Like, and you don't know who they are. Like, we used to go pick up our own food. We used to go like only to hotels. We used to only like drive our cars or get in yellow cabs. So for me, I just think like never say never and never give up. Like you just never know what's on the other side.
Love that. Yeah. Where can people go to connect with you?
Definitely LinkedIn. Also, I'm pretty open. 516-413-0034. That's my cell. I don't care. Text me, call me. That's who I am. I don't like, again, what's the worst thing that can happen? I don't know, you call me 17,000 times. Great. I'm not going to remember. So like, it's fine. Like you'll call me again and I won't remember. Like there's nothing detrimental that can happen by you calling me. And then LinkedIn, my LinkedIn has my email. Yeah. And then just, don't be a stranger.
Cool. Rom.
Being a stranger is dangerous.
Good to have you on the show.
Being a stranger is dangerous. That's my motto. Thank you so much, Jason. You are literally a saint and a legend. So thank you for having me.
You bet.